You are watching a brand new Sports Fusion episode. My name is Alex Fuse. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We have a big show for you, Fuse Nation. We got Bryan Hoch on, who is a MLB.com reporter for the New York Yankees. So, Mr. Hoch, how are you doing tonight?
Great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. So, let me ask you, let's start it off. How do you expect the Yankees to do this season?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of factors that go into it, obviously. And you look at the American League East, there's a whole lot of parity, and I think these teams are pretty evenly matched. So I don't think anybody's going to necessarily run away with the division, but I really like the way the Yankee bullpen sets up. I think that when you have Dylan Betances leading to Andrew Miller, and then eventually on May 9th, they're going to have Aroldis Chapman there. I think that bullpen's going to lock down a lot of leads for them. So you look at the rotation, there's a lot of question marks, but I think that the one thing working in their favor is the team that scored the second most runs in baseball last year, only to Toronto. And the starting pitching, while it's a little bit shaky, they should be able to get any leads that they have. If they have a lead through 6 innings, I feel pretty good about their chances of locking that down. So I'll tell you what, I think this team's going to be in the race all deep into the season. I think that 87, 88, 89 wins, that's probably right around where I project them. But they'll be playing meaningful games in September, and I think there's a playoff game.
Yeah, and that question came in from Brady from Rotterdam, New York. So let me ask you, Ellsbury got hurt last week hit by a pitch. Do you have an update for Ellsbury? I know he wanted to, Girardi wanted for him to step into the lineup on Thursday. Do you have an update for us?
I do. I spoke to Jacoby earlier downstairs here, and he's feeling good. He's got a light wrap on the wrist, but he says he's fortunate. That could have been very bad. We saw it with Curtis Granderson a few years ago, and similar situation, hit on the wrist. There was a fracture, and he didn't play until late May. So, no, Ellsbury, very lucky that he came away with just a bruise, and they're going to have him take some batting practice tomorrow. The goal is to get him into a game on Thursday. That would be here in Tampa on Thursday night. If he has to push it back another day, he's still got plenty of time for opening day. So I think that's really the goal at this point. Yeah, you'd love to see him playing games, but the goal is April 4, and I think that Ellsbury's going to get there.
And I know probably a lot of people asked you last year about Rob Refsnyder. Do you see Refsnyder making the team for the regular season this season?
I think so. I mean, they basically got 3 guys left competing for a utility role, and it's Refsnyder, Pete Kozma, and Ronald Torreyes. And I think that of the 3 of those, you got 2 guys who can field in Kozma and Torreyes, and 1 guy who can hit, and the glove is a little suspect. But to me, I would take the bat, and I think that Refsnyder, he's going to be a work in progress at third base, but the fact that he can do it raises his chances of making the team a lot more. He can play second base. He can play probably right field if you had to. I think that's the kind of thing. He comes off the bench. He hits left-handed pitching. I think there's a lot of ways that Joe Girardi could use Refsnyder. So whereas it seemed last year that they were trying to find ways not to use Refsnyder, this year they're trying to find ways to fit him in. I think it's always possible they could pick up a guy, say March 31 on the waiver wire, but from the guys during camp here, I think Refsnyder's on this team.
And last question here is before I wrap up this interview. With CC Sabathia struggling here in spring training, do you see a realistic move for him to go into the bullpen, and do you see him not winning that 5th starter position?
Yeah, two very different questions there. Do I see Sabathia going to the bullpen? The answer is no. I just think it's so difficult for a guy. He's not 35 years old. He's never done it in his career except for 1 time in the playoffs. I think it would be a lot to ask of him at this point. You typically don't pay your long relievers $25 million. I know that, look, it's all about performance. It's about who's going to help them win games. So I do believe the Yankees when they say they're going to put the guy in the rotation who can help them win. So far, it has not looked like Sabathia is that guy. I think that Nova has pitched better than them. Actually, Bryan Mitchell has pitched better than the both of them. But I think Mitchell's going to go down to AAA and get stretched out and be an option to come up in midseason. So my guess would be that if Sabathia doesn't turn it around in the next 2 starts, the Yankees are going to find an injury for him. And we've heard Joe Girardi say so many times, you can MRI any pitcher in that room and find something. I think that they would find something with Sabathia, some reason that he would begin the year on the DL. and that would allow them to have Ivan Nova and Bryan Mitchell on the team as they go north.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Hoch, I want to say thank you for taking the time to come on the Sports Fusion episode, and you are welcome on any time.
All right. Very good. Thanks for having me.
Yep, no problem. I want to say thank you, Fuse Nation, and shout out to the 301 people watching us live right now. I want to say thank you for watching. Click the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment below of what you think about this show and what are your thoughts on the New York Yankees coming up this season. We got a big show Thursday night. Stay tuned. Sports Fusion keeps getting bigger and bigger. Thanks for watching. I will see you on Thursday.